What's up, YouTube? I'm back at y'all with another video. And in today's video, I want to discuss I misjudged Kanye West. Um I was sitting here defending him and all this other stuff about him, speaking about him going to different churches with his choir and preaching, and singing gospel music and all this and that. And you got other people out here defending him as well. But what I didn't get was, there's a whole lot of things that I'm gonna tell you like this. I was watching this video here on YouTube, and I'm about to play this interview in a second, and by Pastor Greg Lewis, and he was uncovering a whole lot of stuff that you know that I didn't even know about. Like I said, I was defending Kanye West and his ministry, and I was I what is it? What am I trying to say? I misjudged him is what I'm trying to say. But the stuff you about to hear in this interview is about to have you, thinking like, really, I didn't like. It's really crazy because I sat here and I made a whole live video about defending Kanye West credit and people criticizing him on, you know, him rapping about God and all this and that and the third. But it was some stuff left out that we didn't even see. But Pastor Craig Lewis seen it, and he basically broke down the whole situation about Kanye West giving his life to Jesus Christ and he making his gospel album Jesus King and all this other stuff. He reveals a whole lot of stuff about the situation. So what I'm about to do is I'm about to play this interview, and I don't care how long this video is. I'm just about to put this out there. Y'all might have heard the interview. Y'all might have seen the interview of Pastor Craig Lewis, revealing the stuff about Kanye West. I'm not finna I can't back it all up myself because there's a lot that he covered in this interview with this lady he interviewed with. There's a lot he covered. So I'm about to play this interview that Pastor Craig Lewis did with this lady, and he broke down every aspect of kind of what Kanye West is doing. So without further, I'm about to play this interview right quick, and it basically explaining to you what this. Hold on a second. He's basically explaining to you about this whole situation about Kanye West giving his life to Christ and behind the meaning behind this and stuff like that. And then as he goes further into his interview and he starts breaking it down, it had you thinking like, yeah, I never thought of it like that, or I didn't know this or I didn't know that. But in this interview, he's gonna explain to you what's really going on. And it kind of had me fooled too about, I had made a whole lot of video view, defending Kanye West and saying what Eric Campbell said and all that. But, like I said, I'm just gonna get into the interview and I'm gonna play the whole interview and stuff like that. Like I said, I might have to do a part two or whatever, but however many parts I have to do, I'm trying to share this with y'all. Some of y'all might have seen the interview, might have heard the interview, but those of you who haven't, I'm finna play it. So here it go. I sold my soul to the devil. I know it's a crappy deal. This it came with a few toys like a Happy Meal. Yeah, we were really light on even giving it a name. It's just an idea that. Before I get into the interview, before I get deeper into the interview as I continue to play, I did my further research. See, this thing is just like a court case. If you convict somebody of murder, make sure you have enough evidence to convict that person. Because that person, if you don't have enough evidence to convict that person is innocent until proven guilty. They just likely locked up. They're guilty until proven innocent. So you really, when you do research on somebody and really scope out somebody, you have to really gather up enough evidence on that person to say that that person is what you say he is. Don't just assume that that person is what you say is by what other people say, but do your further research. And that's why I got caught up. I didn't do my further research on Kanye West, but as I continue to do my further research, it kind of it kind of made sense. So this interview right here is gonna uncover a whole lot of evidence and stuff like that on Kanye West. I'm not judging him, but this right here, this is the backup of what what Kanye West is all about.
We had to open up our hearts and make music that we felt was as pure and as positive as possible. Programming, like what I talked about, the hi-hats, the 808 that usually hits inside of the lowest chakra, which is your sex chakra.
So I cut my fellowshipping short at Magic City
to go to church.
to go and get me 45 minutes of sleep.
Yeah.
To get up and drive out here to be accosted and basically exploited.
Finesse out some money.
And when I sat down, as soon as I sat down, remind you, I tell you, they already raised the offering. Jamal already raised the offering.
Yeah.
When we sat down, there was a whole new agenda.
A whole new agenda, fool.
When me and Tit is up there, 2 multimillionaires, though actually 3 counting Tamika, 3 multimillionaires on the front row.
Yeah.
It's like they rung the red bell at the Players Club.
You know what?
Wow.
You dig what I'm saying?
And then you have all the information that one of God's favorite angels that was in charge of music came down and started putting message in it. The devil is also the angel of music.
Just like that, when someone comes up and says something like, I am a god, everybody says, who does he think he is? I just told you who I thought I was, a god. I just told you, that's who I think I am.
But TMZ reports their Kanye sources say that he threatened to walk and vented only to his team. The New York Post got hold of his audio in which West compared himself to Stanley Kubrick and Apostle Paul, as in St. Paul.
Whoa, by 50%, Stanley Kubrick, Apostle Paul, and Escobar, by 50% more influential than any other human being. Don't with me. By 50%, dead or alive, by 50% for the next 1,000 years. Stanley Kubrick, yay.
This is a God dream. This is a God dream. This is everything.
We living in hell, yeah.
We can talk with hell.
Now here we want to see more.
I'm not just a musician. I'm a Christian, revolutionary, visionary products person. I ain't here to dance for you. I ain't here to do a 2-step.
Right.
That's just a piece. That was just my end. And now I want to create. I want to create content. I mean, eventually, 10 years from now, I just want to create for the church, period. I'm Christian. I'm just going to die. I'm designed like the new Sistine Chapel.
Webster's defines affectation as a show, a pretense, or display. Behavior that is assumed rather than natural. Artificiality, a particular habit as of speech or dress adopted to give a false impression. Affectation, this is what God told me, y'all, and I'm going to try to give you this, and we're going to try to close this out. Affectation is planted into a person through some kind of deficit or traumatic experience that makes them feel the need to be proven with their actions or abilities. Rape, molestation, incest, abandonment, neglect, abuse, or talent affirmations, etc. These things make a person, when they happen to a person, the person feels a need to pretend that they're okay and to show others that they're okay. So rather than coming broken, are y'all listening to me? Rather than coming broken, they put on a false identity.
We're here today with Pastor G. Craig Lewis, and Pastor, we got to talk. It's been a lot of conversation about the recent things with Kanye West, and especially now.
Here comes the interview. All that other stuff is just talking about Kanye West and how he called himself a god and stuff like that, all that extra stuff. But here goes the interview right here.
Since it's inside the church, and we just got to answer some questions, Pastor.
Yeah, I wanted to really do this interview because I personally feel like a lot of people are genuinely confused, and they for the lack of teaching, you know, the build up to this moment where the superstar has come into the church, the superstar mentality, all of those things. It's almost like the way was paved for this to happen a long time ago. It was progressive. And now we have a situation where people are, they're concerned about Kanye's salvation, but they don't know where to draw the line. Like, is this the way a person is saved? Is this how, this display, is this how you give your life to the Lord? I mean, is this?
And that's something to think about. What Pastor Craig Lewis just said, that's something to really think about. Is that how you give your life to the Lord? That's something to really think about. In this interview, he's going to say some interesting stuff down y'all need to hear. I'm going to pause it throughout the interview so I can expand on what he just said.
The way it's supposed to be done. So I felt like even after doing it, we have the videos online where I did it, and I spoke about it in the service.
Yes.
And I also did a short clip about it or whatever, but that's before he actually started using churches. He was doing Coachella, then he was, kind of out doing other things, but now he's inside the church with his, with all of it. So I felt like, we need to talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we got some great questions that people shared with us, and we're going to give you the opportunity to kind of stretch out on them and kind of give us some understanding. So our first question is, as Christian leaders, what should our stance be about this Kanye issue? Should we condemn him, his followers, and any pastors that connect with him? Or should we work on converting him and his followers? What should we do?
Well, we got to first establish an authority.
Okay.
And that's what I always do. As a minister of the gospel, as a preacher of the gospel, I can't go by public opinion. I can't go by societal norms. I can't go by how people feel. I have to establish an authority before I can, like you say, stretch out on on a topic.
Right.
And here we have to establish the authority. Who is the authority here? It's Jesus Christ.
Yes.
He's claiming that he has accepted Jesus Christ, so he's now in the zone of who Jesus Christ is and what Jesus expects. So we got to really say, we got to really know what Jesus said about it. We got to know Jesus' truth about it.
Okay.
That's where we have to start. So, I know people have their own feelings, and most of the time, as a community, we judge things by how we feel.
Right.
So we don't want to put Kanye down because we don't want nobody putting us down. We don't want to close the door on Kanye because we don't want the door closed on us or our kids, so to speak. So what we do is we just make allowances for him, and we don't want to judge because we don't want to be judged, because the Bible says don't judge so you won't be judged.
Okay.
Well, that's not really what it said. It said judge not that ye should not be judged, meaning the way you judge is the way you're going to be judged. Well, righteous judgment, we're all judged by that, and we're all judged by the word. So if Jesus Christ is the authority here, then we're all judged by the word.
Right.
In the beginning was the word was with God, the word was God, and then the word became flesh according to the Bible, which was Jesus Christ.
Right.
So if Christ is a word, then this whole conversation, interview, whatever you want to call it, has to be based on what the word is saying. Okay? So let's go to your question. People might have forgot your question, but you were asking what should our stance be?
Right.
So once we establish the authority, let's understand something, that Jesus did this before. He was tempted by fame. The devil offered him fame. He offered him a platform on the mount when he tempted him. Jesus turned it down and said, the kingdoms of this world are not mine. Basically, he told him, get behind me, Satan, all of that. He's like, that's you're going to only worship the Lord thy God. You're not going to lift me up right now. And so he was really saying, I'm turning down the world because the world's fame is not important to me. So we got Christ turning down fame. He resisted it. And in my video I just did, I released a video series called Temptation.
Yes.
And I talked about that. And I talked about mammon. And a lot of people today think they are serving God, but they're really serving mammon.
And that's something to think about. All the shit you just said, that's something to really think about. I mean, like he just said, Christ was offered all the kingdoms of the world if he bowed down and worshiped Satan and stuff like that. But just keep listening, and he's gonna he's gonna break down the whole thing, the whole Kanye West situation. He's gonna break it down.
Word tells us that you cannot serve God and mammon. You cannot serve two masters. Well, what is mammon? Well, mammon is the money god. It's the love of money or fame. And I tell people all the time, because people ask me, well, how do I know if I'm serving God or serving mammon? Well, let's do some mammon tests.
Okay.
There's a mammon test, okay? If money tells you what you can say or can't say, or what you can do or can't do, then you're serving mammon. Okay? So we know Kanye cannot say certain things. He cannot publicly go against the LGBT, or he won't have his platform.
And he's right about that. I mean, if Kanye West is so for Jesus and all this, why does he has his limitations on what he can and can't say about paparazzi and all the other stuff he just said? Why does Kanye West speak out about them? I mean, if you give your life fully to Christ, you supposed to talk about, expose anybody. You supposed to bring all that to the light. I know he got his limitations on what he's of what he's saying. Kanye West has his limitations on what he's saying. Not one time since he's been talking about God that he spoke against the paparazzi and all these other people he deal with.
He cannot publicly go against certain things. He can't go against his old music or he loses his record deal.
And he's right about that. He can't go against his music. He can't do anything that's connected to Kanye West as far as his music and all that. If he go against that, then he know his crowd and everybody's gonna turn against him. Just like I said in my Facebook Live. What percentage are you at as far as serving God? Are you at 40%, 50%, 60%, or 20%, or 80%, or 90%? Because the further you get away from God, the more your percentage is gonna go down. Your interest percentage is gonna go down. But the more you start reading and studying and all that, the more your interest percentage is gonna go up. So yeah, continue listening.
He can't go against what Jay-Z's doing, what Beyonce's doing, even though we know they're representing sin or they're promoting sin. He can't speak out on it or he'll lose his status. So we know, is this Christ or is this mammon? Because the Bible tells us that Jesus went against the scribes, the Pharisees. He went against everyone. Why? Because truth was more important than money. But when money becomes more important than truth, then we're talking about somebody serving mammon. And
Exactly. He's Pastor Craig Lewis. Exactly. He's exactly right. I mean, hey, when we let mammon get in the way of us, it becomes a problem. That lets you know we're with putting self in front of God. So like I said, he gonna continue with the interview. He gonna like I said, he gonna explain a whole lot more on this situation.
This is the real, test. When you're offered the world, but the result of it is going to be the destruction of many lives and souls, you serve mammon. Yeah. So you are offered an opportunity to make music, and you chose to make music calling yourself a god. You chose to talk about selling yourself sold to the devil. You chose to talk about sin, sex, and you're leading millions and millions of kids astray. Millions and millions of kids are going to hell because you have promoted hell or the devil in a way that it was attractive. Yes. You did that for money, so we know you serve mammon. And when you...
And that's something to think about. I mean, as we sit back and watch Kanye West do all this, singing gospel music and all this other stuff and stuff like that. Kanye West said that him and his dad got into it about, him and about. I mean, it more than just singing. You got to have some word in there. You got to have some preaching in there, not just singing. People got to hear the word. And like I said, he's gonna go through all. Like I said, he's gonna explain all that. But I'm just expounding on what he's saying. But let me continue.
And there's another one. I keep saying this is the one, but this is really the one where you perform rituals. Yeah. Illuminati rituals that promote.
Now he finna get into the meat of the situation about these rituals and stuff like that Kanye West is doing and stuff like that.
Sin, all for the sake of selling music and fame, you serving mammon. So the real question is, when you say how should we approach this, well, what God is it that you've come to? Which Jesus Christ is it that you come to?
And that's something else to think about too. I mean, what Jesus Christ did he come to? I mean, you have to really think about these things. But like I said, before we interact on a situation, we need to know further research. We can't just go by what this person, this person, or whoever said something about that person. You have to do your further research. You have to go deep down in the roots and find out more about the situation. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it's just like convicting somebody of murder. If you don't have enough evidence to convict them, then they're innocent till proven guilty. But if they're in jail, they're guilty till proven innocent. It's the opposite way.
You give your life to Christ and you selling socks and shoes and clothes out in front of the church, in the church. You selling everything. Then you promoting your music.
And look, I'm gonna go ahead and shut this video down. I'm gonna come out with a part 2 because I don't want my memory to go low. So I'm gonna see y'all in part 2. Y'all just stay tuned.